There are some real positives in our farming industry, and I would say the top one for me would be the people themselves, because in general, and I am being very general here, farming people are completely the salt of the earth.
I love the variety of the job. Again, it's every day is different. We have a wide range of things to do. There's some bad days, you get things that go wrong, but there's a lot of, mostly they're good days. And I think it's the satisfaction at the end of the year of having a good harvest or your cattle doing well. Again, it gives you a bit of pride in what you've done, and no, it gives me great satisfaction in what I do. I think I'm really lucky to do a job that I love.
Farming's changed, I would say, quite dramatically over the last 2 and 3 decades and more probably.
At that time, you could load all your cattle onto a lorry and away they went, and you didn't need tags and passports and all these kind of paraphernalia of paperwork. And the administration has just got more and more. I think because there's subsidies in farming, that means there has to be paperwork, but it's become more and more stringent, the penalties are more and more severe.
The challenges in farming nowadays are, well, I think number one would be loneliness for a lot of people. It's an industry that a lot of folk work on their own now. There's not near so many folk employed on farms nowadays, so a lot of farmers work on their own 6-7 days a week, never see anybody else. So that alone is a challenge nowadays. The financial challenge above that, and the rules and regulations we have to obey to, can put folk on a lot of stress as well. I have a problem with anxiety and panic attacks. Worst at night, but I also got it through the day as well. And that was when I'm in a few days, I can confined spaces in the back of a car. I had to sit next to the window. Other people didn't realise that, but it gave me a major problem. If I hadn't got the help that I did get, I think it would have affected my business in the long run.
When I came home, my father had quite a large business, so I'd been just a worker for another farming business in England, and so I came home and had to take over everything, and I was quite overwhelmed by it. I think I've been kind of predisposed to feeling depressed as the day length shortens. So, for example, each year when you're combining, you're busy and you're flat out and everything, and then it comes to an end, and then you've got your 3 months of paperwork which you've not done, which is all lying here on the desk, and you think, oh, now I'm stuck, isolated in the office myself. And so I think that's the combination of the shortening day length and the paperwork which you're disinclined to do.
The effects that these mental health issues have on the farming community can be very, very varied, and it can be from farmers they don't want to talk about it, so they don't want to be sociable, they stop coming to events, they stop coming to meetings, they're quite introverted, and maybe before they felt the way they do now, they would have been very outgoing and very gregarious and the life and soul.
And sometimes they just need to ask for help or go to somebody that can assist them. I think you can make that part of it easier on yourself if you just take steps to do it. And some folk dinna, and that's when they land in real problems.
As a volunteer with the Samaritans, come across so many different mental health issues. It ranges from depression, anxiety, panic attacks, post-traumatic stress disorder, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and sometimes there's a few different sort of mental disorders that can affect how the person is feeling or how they're thinking. So you don't know what type of call you're going to get. Sometimes it's just somebody that's just not coping with day-to-day life. Other times it's maybe somebody that's having suicidal thoughts. So you've just got to be prepared for sort of answering the call, but more importantly, listening to the calls.
Don't be scared to go to someone and speak to someone about it. It doesn't matter who, but the first conversation is the hardest. Once you've made that one, whoever you speak to will either help you or put you to someone that will help.
It's good to talk. Just seek out advice, don't bottle it up. And yeah, whether it's family, friends, or a support line.
A lot of people think that Samaritans are mainly there for people suffering from suicidal thoughts or self-harm, but we're here to listen to anybody, and sometimes if they just want to pick up the phone and give us a call, able to talk to us about how you're feeling. The majority of our support is done by phone, but it can also be done by email or by letter. The service is confidential, and Samaritans are non-judgmental.
When you open up to somebody, that in itself is a massive therapy for you, because you're not feeling good and you know that you're not yourself. And that unburdening of just saying how you feel, that can be huge, and that can be a light at the end of the tunnel.